Hello, guys. Welcome to the podcast where friends discuss about the global events in context to India. So, Nimesh, welcome. How are you?
I'm
Long
good.
time no see.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
Diwali.
Diwali. Yeah, we took a week break for Diwali, and now we're back
Yeah,
post Diwali episode. Yeah,
so the episode. Yeah, how was your Diwali, Nimesh?
it was good.
Eventful?
I met a few relatives here, and in London, in some areas, you feel like India. Like it's probably there are more firecrackers here than in some Indian cities. So you really feel like Diwali. So it was good. How about you?
Yeah. I went to Vapi with my family and we celebrated Diwali there.
Nice.
Actually, I was planning for some outing. We had a week long holiday, but
Mm.
then I thought that all the touristy places is very heavily crowded, and also the hotels will be too costly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Diwali is
yeah,
not
and
the right
yeah,
time to to
right time
travel.
to.
Yeah.
So now that we are in the Diwali mood, so let's start with the Diwali topic, right?
Oh, nice.
Let's start with the air pollution and Diwali, the nexus between air pollution and Diwali. so so there have been many reports that after the Diwali and firecrackers and all, which we explored. So after that, the AQI of Delhi, it's I think there's an official number. Yeah, we'll get to that. Uh, there's also some controversy there, but some people recorded the AQI with the AQI meter in the home, and it's crossed like 999 because the machine can only read up to
Oh,
999.
wow. Okay. That's scary.
Yeah, that's scary. So according to some estimates, the AQI may have been 1400 to 1500. That's like
Machine can't even
100.
measure that AQI.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the kind of issue. That's the kind of reality of our national capital region. So. Actually, many people have recorded that in their homes also after using air purifier and all the other techniques to reduce air pollution. Still, the AQI may be around 300 to 400 to 500. So that even even the air purifier can't handle that much pollution, right? The air
Mm,
purifier can cannot reduce 1500 to I think 50. Yeah,
yeah,
no air purifier can do, right?
right.
Exactly. So. Uh, so
Yeah.
uh, Actually, the normally the pollution spikes after the Diwali, but in for this 2025, it's highest among the many recent years. So
Mm,
you can say it's the highest amount of pollution the Delhi has faced in I think the last 5 to 6 years. Also, if you have watched the news, the many reports that the government installs the AQI meter, right? Some place, and
mm,
it normally actually it measures the air quality around that place, right? Because it is installed there. So what the government is doing, it's I think sprinkling water and that kind of things
oh,
to
so they're fudging
artificially.
data.
Yeah.
That's bad. Okay. Yeah.
During the preceding night of Diwali and like the Diwali and its night, I think 29 out of 38 AQI meters have been did not show any reading. Like it switched off or like that.
Oh, yeah. I see. I think there was some discrepancy between the government data and the private companies'
Exactly, exactly,
measurements. Like I think
exactly.
international organizations also measure AQI,
Yeah, yeah.
and they showed completely different readings than
Different
the
reading. Yeah,
government data.
exactly,
So there was some
exactly.
controversy about that. So it
Yeah.
could be your conspiracy could be correct that they are actually sprinkling water or doing something, fudging data.
It's not on conspiracy.
Okay,
It's on video. Yeah, it's on video.
oh, it's on video. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's on video. A
Okay,
reporter has literally recorded what is happening. Like they're
it's really bad. Yeah.
they continuously a truck is going around the station, continuously sprinkling water, so that
That's really,
the
yeah, that's really bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really bad.
Uh,
So
would this be by the Delhi government or the central
yeah,
government? I think Delhi
exactly.
government.
Delhi government. Yeah, Delhi government.
Yeah,
Delhi
yeah.
government.
Mm, yeah. I also
It's
heard that the Delhi government was working with IIT Kanpur for the cloud seeding experiment, where you seed the clouds and get artificial rain to reduce,
yeah,
improve the air quality.
yeah.
But
I
then they, at the end, they cancelled that plan. The recent news was that they're not going ahead with it. Um,
And I think they tried it, tried one time. I don't think it succeeded. That's why I think
yeah. Again, I think
maybe
that
it's
the
possible.
experts' opinion on this is that it really depends on the moisture in the air and all the other
Exactly.
factors.
Yeah.
So even if you see the
Factor.
clouds, but there are not really the moisture is not there, you can't
Exactly.
get rain out of nowhere, right? So
Yeah.
it depends on climatic conditions and so on. So it's not, yeah, it may not be as effective as they're expecting it to be. Uh,
But what rainfall is quite effective, right? If
yeah, if you
you
get
have
rainfall, if you manage
uh,
to get rainfall, then it's effective. But
effective,
you may
yeah,
not get the expected rainfall after
effective
seeding.
rainfall, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. That's what
I
the
think
thing.
the again during this period anyway, the AQI is quite worse in Delhi,
Hmm.
and Diwali just exacerbates that problem. Like you have already bad AQI, and then you have Diwali, and then it becomes really worse after that. I think some of the experts, like the lung doctors and experts, are recommending that people leave Delhi for 4 or 6 weeks
Exactly, yeah.
if they can afford to go somewhere else. Please do that. That's what they're recommending. So it's really, yeah, I think that we are um, in the phase where Beijing was at some point. Like Beijing had really bad air quality for many
Hmm.
years, for several years. Chinese
Exactly.
government tried different things, all the cloud seeding and everything, but still the air quality was really bad there. Until China really imposed all the pollution control laws and
Control
norms on the
measures.
industry, they faced this situation. They could not just get out of
Exactly.
it with cloud seeding or anything.
Yeah.
But in our case, it's not really industrial pollution. This is all far Diwali, but also the farmlands, the
Yeah.
agricultural pollution, right? Stubble
Stubble
burning.
burning,
Our
vehicular
problem
pollution,
is
industrial pollution. Yeah.
industrial pollution is not significant. I think it's the stubble burning is the main. Is not that the case, or am I
Yeah,
misremembering?
stubble burning is major, but industrial
Industrial as well.
pollution is also significant. Not
Yeah,
major, I would say, but significant. Yeah,
significant. Yeah.
because
So until
because if you
that
see
will be
around
also
Delhi,
solved. Mm,
yeah, if you see
yeah,
around
go on.
Delhi, major industrial hubs like Manesar, like around NCR, the whole NCR region is
Mm,
highly industrialized. So
right.
the pollution control norms are very lax there. So
Mm.
that's why Delhi is, I think, what do you say? There's some pinpoint or some pollution, like it
Mm.
concentrates around that area.
Oh
And
yeah.
also
I think even the geography is like that. The industries
exactly
are there, but
geography.
also the geography is like that that air just stays over Delhi for a very
Exactly.
long
The
time. It just does not.
western
So if
disturbances and all.
yeah, if there is not enough atmospheric current to move
Mm,
the air to UP and then towards West Bay of Bengal, that air just stays there.
stays there,
And
yeah. Exactly.
yeah, all the pollution just gets concentrated in that small region and it just stays there. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
but there's no.
I think the China the what China has done to clean up its pollution. I think we have covered in our earlier episode also.
Mm,
What step by step the China did, like uh, uh, it incentivized pollution making industries to do not make that pollution, like it
mm,
sometimes gives subsidy also for the
mm,
thermal power plant, and strict implementation of construction norms, like
mm.
in our Delhi also, the construction is also a major
Yeah,
pollutant source,
yeah.
yeah, the dry dust and other
Dust
particles
and
also,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
and that is actually an easy thing to solve. Like if we can
yeah,
just impose
exactly,
the norms or enforce all those norms, it should be straightforward to solve.
exactly,
I think all these problems are just political problems. They are not really
political, yeah,
technological problems. That there is no technology to solve these problems. These are all political problems, and it requires political will to really tackle these problems, which
exactly,
we are lacking maybe. But Delhi is like all the ministers and everybody live
exactly,
there. Like they
exactly.
have to
Minister,
live through this pollution. Why can't they make
still,
this a priority? Yeah.
yeah, exactly my point.
If some other
The
city was this polluted, then maybe Delhi doesn't care
Yeah,
because yeah,
actually,
in place
exactly.
like that, who cares? Like the PM is sitting in Delhi, so they may not
Exactly.
really see the immediate problem, but they have to survive in this kind of
Yeah,
pollution.
exactly.
So, so they should be solving it, even just for their own sake and their family's
For the
sake, if
own sake,
nothing
yeah,
else. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. It's surprising, yeah.
Surprising.
What are your thoughts about Diwali and its contribution to the pollution, and what should we do about that?
Yeah, I don't think so that Diwali, the cracking of firecrackers per se, leads to, yeah, it increases, like one day increase is definitely there, but in the overall grand scheme of things, it's very mild in nature. And if you look at this, if you look at the trend for the past 10 20 years, the selling of firecracker has been slowing down, like it's coming
Yeah,
down. right? Like if you see like if you see that when we were child, we were very excited to blast the crackers, right? But now we don't do firecrackers, but still our many children don't do
Mm.
even they not yeah they sometimes put the fun of it, like they some minor
Yeah.
yeah like some small crackers yeah they burn, but not very heavily polluting crackers. Yeah, I get I get the point that it's wrong, but still it's a very in the grand scheme of thing it's not that contributing factor to the pollution. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
think
feel.
the pollution impact is maybe transient, as you said. Maybe like for a
Hmm.
few days,
Hmm.
the air will be too polluted, and it
Hmm.
has that also has consequences. So it's not
Hmm.
completely free of
Exactly.
consequences. That's also wrong and should be looked at. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, like if you look at the entire country's pollution from cars and other sources, maybe firecrackers is not that big of a contributor. Um, if you look at pros and cons, so there are many cons. Like we can come up with pollution and then noise and then impact on, say, stray dogs and all of that as well.
Hmm.
Like animals also get disturbed by the noise and all of that. So there are many cons. There are. I think the only good thing is that there's some social um, not positive, but like there's some social use of people coming together and doing some activity. So
Exactly.
children come together and burst firecrackers, or so they feel that it's Diwali. There's some social outcome of that, but maybe that could be achieved with other means. You don't need to just firecrackers could not may not be the only way that people can come together and then feel like it's a festival.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, but I get like young kids, they would want to at least have like have full jadis and burst some basic firecrackers, and we should not be completely strict about not like banning the
Hmm.
firecrackers completely,
Exactly.
but maybe limiting it to smaller and less noisy, less polluting firecrackers. I think there was this attempt of by
Green crackers.
Supreme Court, the green crackers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Burning green crackers that are less
Hmm.
polluting and maybe
Less
less noisy
polluting.
as well. In the UK, you can only get some kinds of crackers. So you can't get like the Sutli bomb and that we had. You can't really
Okay.
buy it here. It's mostly like all the uh, Jameen Chakkar and all that. The
Okay. Some
uh,
small, yeah,
small crackers only. So not
small
very
crackers.
noisy crackers, and only the noisy ones are only ones those that can go up and then
Yeah, okay.
blow up in the sky. So
Yeah.
the noisy crackers that blow up on the ground, those are not really they don't allow it selling it here. So maybe something
Okay.
like that, like allow some firecrackers, full jetty and those for kids to have some fun. But people do go overboard with firecrackers sometimes. Like they'll
Yeah,
just
I agree.
keep on bursting firecrackers the entire night. Maybe that's not really required, right? So maybe
Mm,
some limit on the kind of firecrackers that we allow. Maybe that's required.
exactly.
Yeah.
What like I have seen many news report that the NRI staying outside of India, like they burst many firecracker in Canada, and I think some reports of UK, and all the waste of the crackers being
Oh yeah,
laying
yeah.
down. Yeah.
Like there are typically Indians live in some area. So the entire that area is is filled with Indians. So those kind of areas you can see. Yeah, yeah. I think they can in the US and in other countries maybe they can also get hold of all kinds of crackers. So there, that's really is. The streets will be full of all the firecrackers waste
Mm,
and so on.
exactly.
It's also
Yeah.
in the UK. I think in some areas, if you go there, it will be full of firecrackers waste. And I think the government here, the local governments are also aware that it's Diwali, so all the uh, the fire department and everybody is on high alert. Yeah, you can hear all the sirens going the entire night. So yeah, it's yeah, people, you can get an Indian out of India, but you can't get India out of an Indian. No? So people
Exactly. Exactly.
will celebrate Diwali in the way they used to do in India as well. So that keeps
Exactly.
on
Exactly.
happening.
I saw some video where I think from the US where the police and the fire department came when the people are bursting crackers, and I think sprayed some waters on the crackers and all.
It's possible, yeah, it's totally possible. Because sometimes it's illegal. Like, you can't just
Yeah,
burst firecrackers anywhere. So it's illegal to,
exactly.
yeah. So they would try to get the situation under control somehow. Yeah. We should be, I think, yeah, we should be respectable of the local laws here.
Respectable. Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
living here and then you're you should respect the local laws at least. You don't have to respect the local norms and culture. Like if it's not in their culture to burst firecrackers, maybe it's okay for you to burst firecrackers because it's part of your culture. But you can't just violate laws, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, I should be a bit mindful of that. And there are like in these countries during New Year's and some of the festivals, they also burst firecrackers. So it's not that they don't burst it at all, but they do it in a controlled environment, like it's in a safe area and maybe a big ground, and they will only burst there. So it's a bit more controlled, and it's typically not individual people. Maybe in the
Yeah, yeah.
US, I think in the US during the 4th of July and all of that, even individual people
Ah,
do that.
people do that. Yeah.
But during New Year's, it's typically the local government
Exactly.
organize
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
events, and people
Large
just
scale.
show up for the spectacle. Yeah, like our Ravana Dahan and that, where we
Mm.
just show up for the spectacle. We don't really actually do it ourselves.
Mm.
And we
Exactly.
have a guest, not a guest. Mayur will be
Yeah, kind of.
offended if we call him guest. Our podcast bro is here.
Hello.
Mayur, how are you? How was your Diwali? And how was Dubai?
How was Dubai?
Habibi,
Yeah.
Habibi.
It was very good. Yeah.
Were you there during Diwali or after Diwali or before
No,
Diwali?
during
During
Diwali.
Oh,
Diwali.
during Diwali. Nice. So did you
Yeah,
see all the
Diwali.
firecrackers and festivities there, or was it not that much?
At one place I saw. At one place I saw.
Yeah.
It was a
Old
part
Dubai,
of
right?
Old Dubai.
Oh, so in old Dubai, it's
Al
it's
Seef.
full of Indians, huh?
I'll see. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. Nice, Mayur.
Yeah.
Habibi.
I saw Burj
Yeah.
Khalifa also was lighted with, like, they had this
Yeah.
some
Happy
Indian
Diwali.
theme
Yeah,
It
lights
was
or
very
something.
good.
Yeah.
And actually every means in the evening they have Dubai like fountain show. On each fountain show, like there will be lighting.
Mhm.
Different lighting every half an hour.
Oh, nice. And like
It was
different
very
music
good.
and everything. Do they have music also?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
everything, everything.
It
It's
was
next
so
to
good.
it's next to Burj Khalifa or somewhere else?
Yeah,
Yeah,
next to
Dubai Mall.
Dubai Mall, Burj Khalifa, all in the same premises.
So what was the highlight, Mayur? What did you enjoy the
I
most?
not in a specific place. I think more or less everything is good. I liked more about complete discipline kind of thing. I actually loved it. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rule of
it was
law,
like
rule of law, right?
so different from India.
Yeah.
I was like, even like while walking on the road and all, like
Cars automatically stopping, right?
Yeah.
that was like too. So we are waiting for car to pass, but car is waiting for us
Exactly.
to pass.
Yeah.
So,
I think everybody should get a first-hand experience of such civility.
exactly.
Really,
This,
yeah, that
this
was
civili-
Back to
so
India.
good.
yeah, this civility is common all around the world, right? But to us, it's like wow, what a VIP treatment. But it's common all around the
Actually,
world. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
we are the
So,
exception here. Even
how
the
much?
lower income countries, it's not about like
Exactly.
just development and higher income countries. Even lower
Exactly.
income countries
Exactly.
have that
Yeah.
kind of civic sense. So
Exactly.
for some reason, maybe we just don't have that role model. So we just don't have that inspiration within our communities to see how
it was
civic
like
sense behaves, like how civic sense
in like
works.
there is so much of the means so much of I will say soil or I will say dust, but still like you won't see like it is so means visually I am saying
Exactly.
it's not
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
in the middle of
while
the desert,
traveling
right?
from the
Yeah.
It's not
yeah
dusty, right? It's not dusty
yeah
like our cities.
ideally it's there, but yeah it's like clean I will say like
Clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to see everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like means I think apart from the places I was more surprised with the way it is being managed. Like there are many outsiders there, but
Right.
I think the people who maybe more or less afraid of rules, and that is kind of a good
Yeah.
thing.
I think they impose
Like
limits
I was not
in a more
worried
strict
about
way.
all our luggage means nothing can get stolen. Like I was like so much. I didn't have any single doubt. Initial days
Yeah,
I was there,
Dubai is
but
safe. And Dubai is quite safe.
by the time I stayed, it was like. But when I came to India, I was just like keeping my bag behind, and I forgot that I'm in India. I had to
Yeah.
rush it.
Yeah, again, all of that spidey senses to work
Yeah,
again in India. Yeah. Well, Mayur, you have been to other countries as well, right? You have been to Vietnam,
no, I've been to I think Poland.
Poland, yeah,
So
Poland.
that
So,
was like
like, if you
it's
compare
quite
Poland
back
with
at
Dubai,
2017.
yeah.
2017 it was there. Like
Mm.
the place where I went, there was not much people
Oh, Mayur,
around.
you also been to Bali, right?
No, in Phuket and Krabi.
Phuket
Ah,
and
so yeah,
Krabi. Yeah.
Thailand,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you compare these countries, all these countries, which one did you see as the most civic? Like Poland, if you
It
compare
is
Poland with Dubai.
Poland was definitely good, I think. So, but again, like here I spent more of completely 8 days. I was like traveling, but
Yeah.
during Poland I was only for one day travel, and rest of the days were in
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
So with
And
respect
Dubai
to
is
that,
also a bigger city, I guess. In Poland, you might have been in a smaller city, so you can't
I
really
was there
compare.
in Krakow and Warsaw.
Those are big
Exactly.
cities.
Yeah, those are major
Yeah, so
cities.
Yeah,
yeah,
those are big cities as well. Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed it. That there also it was good actually. The weather and everything was very good. In
Nice.
Poland, I will say when I visited.
How about Thailand? Have you
Dubai,
been to Phuket or those cities? How is it? Is it?
it is like too good. With respect
But
to
like,
nature
is it like
wise,
clean and people are following the rules and is it like that or it's more
rules
chaotic?
I'm not I means with respect to rules I'm not much sensed how I sensed it here, I will say.
Hmm.
But apart from that, I think people were very friendly there also.
Hmm. I see.
Uh,
Nice,
Here also it
nice,
was quite good, I think.
nice.
Yeah.
I think everybody should
Well,
see this once in their life so that they,
Exactly.
you
actually,
have
and
some benchmark that
yeah,
this is how we should
Exactly.
behave. We don't have that in
Exactly.
India, right? We never
Yeah,
see
you don't
this.
have. Yeah, you never see.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
and after this traveling, no, like one more thing, like since like we're doing some job kind of thing, so like we feel like something like I think there should be some additional income source also after, or maybe like we can say like there are many ideas I will say which we can get on businesses also when I'm traveling.
Exactly.
See, like
Exactly.
Dubai and all,
yeah.
like it's so costly. I think they're selling at a huge margin everything
Mm,
because even though they have fields, which is less than 180, but like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like
mm,
only everything starts from like 2, 3, 480s and
mm.
Yeah, it's
everything is so
expensive.
costly,
Expensive,
and they
yeah,
are actually getting from China most of the things,
yeah,
India. So
Mm.
when we are selling that same Chinese product at some margin, so they are
yeah,
selling at like 2, 3x margin,
yeah.
the same product. It was like
Yes, we can also get new
too
business
much.
ideas while traveling.
I
Get
think
new
many people
perspectives
are.
and new
That's
business
why many
ideas.
That's
Indians are
true.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's why
I'm
many
sure
Indians.
many Indian businesmen and also Pakistani, other South Asian
Yeah,
businessmen
yeah.
then
All
selling.
these Asian outside
Yeah,
people are there. The
yeah,
sheikhs are like ultra rich. They are
yeah.
not
The
like
sheikhs don't get into all these lower
the ultra rich
level,
there. Yeah.
lower level work.
All this,
Yeah,
all the shops, everything,
menial
small,
jobs.
small.
Yeah,
It's all by the outsiders only. I didn't saw
yeah,
any sheikhs doing some work about it.
yeah. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the topic currently? So you
We're about to
completed one
finish
topic?
the Delhi pollution, like the pollution in Delhi after Diwali. That topic. Do you have to add anything, like any thoughts about that pollution in Delhi and Diwali's contribution to it?
Like I definitely this contributes this festival, post festival, it actually kind of an acute jump in the pollution. And I'll say like now in Delhi, if you see, like even like to be very frank, I was like thinking about shifting. I have one opportunity maybe in near
Oh,
future where I can
mm,
get to that location. So like we were also thinking about it, but like so one of the main issue is like the air pollution there.
yeah.
So that's like too huge, and I think soon we will be also. I've already seen few like Shashithar is wearing that no, air pollution thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Personal air pollution. Yeah.
I think soon
What's
everyone will
that?
be wearing
He's
that.
wearing some kind of a device to remove the
Yeah,
pollution
Yeah.
from the air.
Personal
He's
personal
breathing.
air purifier.
air
Personal
purifier.
air purifier.
Wow, nice. I
So
think
yeah,
yeah,
so
that's good
definitely in
idea.
each and every house it is needed there. It is like a
Yeah,
must
yeah,
how we have an air conditions
yeah,
in
yeah.
Delhi. Air purifier is must, but now
That
soon
makes
we
me
will
wonder that
start
all the
everyone.
rich people will figure out a way out of this pollution, and all the poor will suffer, right? People living in slum, and yeah, they won't be able to afford this kind of
True, true.
devices, and so yeah, all the inequality in our society will make these kind of problems even more and more worse for the poor people. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. I think many people are just afraid
I
of moving
think
to Delhi
they
for the
they they
certain.
tried for that seeding also, right? Like for the
Yeah.
Oh
rain
yeah, that's what we
seeding.
were
But I
discussing.
think but it
Yeah,
didn't work right.
I
Yeah.
think they
Yeah. I
gave up
didn't
on
work.
that. They gave up on that after that. Yeah.
3.2 CR they spent 3.5 CR on that.
I think it's not much in the grand scheme of things. Like if it works and if it gets the pollution down, maybe it's worth it. But it didn't work. So yeah,
3.5 crores a drop in the ocean
yeah.
for the government.
Like there are maybe almost like 2 crore people living there. So for the health of 2 crore
No,
people, I
but that
think.
but that 3.5 was only for one specific area. Not that
Yeah. Yeah.
it was not
Exactly.
like whole. So
But still, Mayur,
yeah,
I think it's still drop in an ocean. If you talk
yeah, yeah,
about Delhi, yeah, it's even for that
yeah,
small area.
definitely. Like in that
Yeah,
case,
yeah,
but it's like the one thing which we are getting in free, we need to get it through science.
yeah,
So, so we are ultra rich in that case. We consider that rain in convert into money.
yeah. True.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So,
All
guys,
right.
let's close this topic and let's get on to our new topic, which is the China's recent rare earth diktat. So recently, what happened was in October, in the late October, China has China has released some new rules, restrictions from raw materials. Like if you can say that we have to take permission from China, we have to take a NOC or some issue that this will not be used for nuclear. I think dual use like weapons technology and that and if any uh, and this rule also applies to the foreign companies. Like if I am a company based on US, then I must now obtain Chinese government's approval to export product that contain even trace like 0.1% more amount of rare earth minerals which have been processed, mined, or even processed by the equipment by the Chinese technology. Like suppose if a US government, suppose if a company based in India mines rare earth based on the equipment provided by Chinese company, then also and if I sell that refined rare earth to some other party, then some other party has to take permission from China because I have used Chinese equipment to I think refine my raw material. Yeah, that kind of the hold that the China has on the whole world.
And for military, they
Was
completely ban
this?
the use of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely banned. Yeah. For the military and dual use technology, like it's completely banned. Like it hurts, really hurts the U.S. defense industrial complex and getting at U.S. technology.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Uh,
Like the goal, I think, was to hurt US because we're not allowed to export to the US. Like specifically
exactly.
not
Yeah.
allowed to export to the US.
Exactly.
But I think that was relaxed recently when Donald
Yeah,
Trump was in China. He met
yeah.
Xi Jinping. Xi
In
Jinping.
Korea.
Donald Trump was
And
in South Korea. Yeah.
South
Donald
Korea,
Trump
South Korea.
and
But then
yeah,
he met with Xi
yeah.
Jinping,
He
and
was
they
Jinping. Yeah. Exactly.
agreed
So
for some relaxation.
yeah. Yeah.
But
What was
They
that?
agreed for some relaxation. I think they agreed. Yeah.
what?
They agreed to what? Yeah. They agreed to pause this restriction for 1 year, and
For 1 year.
the US, and US reduced the tariff from I think 140 from the highs of 140 to I think 10%.
10%. So it's all
No.
all random, like
US,
completely. Everybody
no,
knows no, this won't stay.
US actually reduced the tariff only by, they like when they impose this rare earth one, okay, this
Hmm.
restriction. At
Hmm.
that time, US increased the, I think, tariff more by 40% something.
So actually, before
Then they are
this
reducing.
tariff, before this tariff, the tariff was around 40 around 4%, and after this tariff export, then Donald Trump said, yeah, we will revise additional 100%. So it was
100%.
So at some point it was around 140 around
Yeah,
4%.
140. That's what I saw.
Then Trump only said that 140 is too high because the it will impact US consumers, right? So Trump himself said that it's too high, so we'll get it down to I think 30 to 35%, and then right now it's around 10% after
10%.
this
It dropped to 10%.
10%. Yeah,
Wow.
10%.
Okay. I think right now Trump is using this as a negotiation tactic, but soon people will realize that he's not really serious about this, and I think its effectiveness will slowly decline if he keeps on doing this. People know that he's not serious, and
Not
they won't
serious.
budge with. They won't agree with his negotiations going forward. But right now it seems to be working. China lifted the sanctions, so it seems to be working.
So I think the China strategy was also to play the chicken's game with
So
the
to get
US,
from
right?
40 to 10%, right?
Yeah.
So with all this, at the end, China went from 40 to 10%. It's a win for China, actually.
Win for China, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I think for us, you were saying that this is now a restriction on us, but I thought we already had those restrictions before, like the China-India thing.
Yeah.
And now they have lifted some restrictions. That's what I.
Yeah, they have given some concessions to India after the Modi-Xi meeting. I think SU
on the port, on usage of port, basically.
Port. Yeah, this I think rare earth element also. India was also the whole world falls into this place. And India, suppose Indian company also have to take the Chinese approval. So I think recently, I think yesterday also I read some country got approval to import to import rare earth animals from China. But I
I
think
think there are four
the
companies
powerful
now
magnets,
approved, which were not approved
four
before. So I think
companies,
before it was even
yeah,
not possible to, especially like rare earth magnets. It was not
exactly,
possible to
yeah,
import
magnets.
those before, and now it's
Mm.
possible. But with these exceptions that no defense use, and earlier it was
No
also
defense
no
and
export to
no
US.
export to US. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was that there. But I think with after
And you
this deal with US and between US and China, maybe the export to US restriction may have been relaxed, but they
maybe
still
like
have
yeah,
the no defense to use. I think no defense is still fine as long as I
yeah.
mean not fine, but we have to live with it, right? China has the monopoly of the supply, so they can
Monopoly.
they won't allow the enemy countries to use things for defense. So I think we can't really
Yeah.
do anything here. Yeah.
And if you see the press release from the White House, the Trump and all its executive, he's showing that it's a win for US, like that trade talks.
Mm.
But if you see the fine print, then
Yeah.
it's a win for China.
It's been for China. Yeah.
Like Mayur said, the port restrictions, right? It's a major tool that was
What
hurting
is that?
China. And
Can you summarize that? Yeah.
I think I may have to look it
I
up.
think
Mayur, if you know,
that
if you
port
can
is in, I
summarize.
think, Iran basically. That port is in Iran.
Mhm.
Okay. So we can, means what I saw one map is like we can, and that Iran had a problem with US.
Mm.
No, that's Sabar port. That's for India.
Yeah.
No,
And that
but
only they allowed, no? They gave a
e-
permission. US gave a permission to you. Earlier we had some sanctions on that.
no. I was
So
saying,
this,
I was saying like I have some crude idea that what US was doing, it was levying tariff on the port. Suppose a Chinese ship came to US ports, right, to empty their container, and then they levied some additional tariff on the ship.
The ship itself.
The ship itself. So the whole in addition to tariff, so that cost increases. So that was hurting China, I think. So that has been relaxed by uh,
Yeah, I think in this negotiation, China holds all the cards, right? It's a supplier. Essentially, it supplies all the goods. It's a supplier of rare earth. It has this monopoly on rare earth minerals. US has essentially the card of the consumer because they have a lot of consumers. It's a big market. China can't ignore US, but slowly China will just diversify. Like it's the rest of the world is there, but US is a big consumer. It's hard to replace US, but still China will slowly look inwards. They will develop their own consumption, and they will also
exactly.
try to increase their exports to other countries, and they will just replace the US as a consumer. China holds all the cards here in the negotiation. Like what US can just apply this tariff and do that, but it's a weaker party in the
but
negotiation, I would say.
current
And
economy of China is not that good, right? The current
I
economy
mean,
of China is
it's
also
not growing
not
as
good.
much as it was growing in the past decade, but it's still growing.
still going, yeah.
And even
And
US economy is
still
right now just
AI,
it's
just
held up
AI.
by AI. It's held up by this 4 or 5 companies
Yeah.
doing well.
I think
There was
I
one
think recently,
post also.
report, right?
Also saying,
If we remove all the top 7 companies, then the US grew by only 0.7%, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think US is also
it,
struggling
it is also
with
being
growth.
said that if definitely this AI will not be a bubble kind of thing, but if it is like too much thing and
No, it is a bubble.
if
It is a
something
bubble for
It is
sure.
a
Like at least an economic bubble.
else,
Like there's just
if
so
it
much
bursts,
blind
then it
investment in
will
all
be
the
in
startups.
recession.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will be
There will
recession.
be. I think it's there are definitely good things coming out of AI, like internet, right? Internet was a real technology which changed the way we do things, but there was still a dot-com bubble, right? Even though internet was a real technology that was helpful, I think it's the same with AI. Like eventually, some companies will do great and they will create great products, but right now it's just a frenzy of
I
investment
think
in
one
products.
more thing is like there are many big sharks basically. So ultimately there is only one or two,
Yeah,
top
exactly.
two, three.
And I think Warren Buffett
So
said that
now it's very
like it's
small
very
things,
hard to pick
small.
winners in an emerging technology in an emerging market. It's very hard to pick winners. Like if you look at the all the companies of the during the automobile era, when the cars became commercial, Ford was there, but there were like I think he shared a list of like 20 other companies which were like promising during for cars and so on. and all of them went bust. Like we don't even know the names, right? But at that
Exactly.
time, people would have invested so much in those companies, thinking that this will be the next big thing. Only Ford survived, and others went bust. In the same way, I think it's hard to pick winners. You may think that OpenAI is the winner, but it may not be, and some other company, some other startup will eventually win the race. So it's
Exactly.
hard to predict.
But now this
But some
many
people
things
for
are
sure.
going on with respect to agents. AI agent, I think
Yeah.
for that AI, I think everyone can create their own agent, something like that.
Yeah. That's what is, yeah, that's the current hype. But again, there's no clear winner here, and there's no, the agent thing is not also very
It's kind of a small
deep.
tool kind of thing, which they
Yeah,
can,
it's a wrapper on the
I
edge
know.
of the
extensions.
technology.
It's
Yeah,
kind of an
Yeah.
extensions. They use
yeah,
the main OpenAI or something like that, but the
yeah,
extensions
yeah.
basically can be installed in
It's
your
very easy
Chrome
to replicate.
browsers.
It's not defensible business model. Anybody can come up with an agent. But I think we're sidetracking with from our main topic,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
which
exactly.
was China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This topic is was sometime
Mm.
some other time. So let's about this tariff, right? This tariff. One important thing about this rare earth, advisory, like advisory or the Chinese issue, is that it's extra territorial, like the U.S. sanctions, right? Like other nations, company will have to take permission from you. So
Mm.
China is also using that US playbook,
Mm.
like extraterritorial sanctions and all. Like it's using its own its playbook to its own.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, that's true. Normally, countries don't do that. I think it's only the
yeah.
US that does this kind of things, and now China has caught up, and China knows. Yeah, China has used the same playbook exactly.
And what kind of chokehold China has? Yeah, no, I think nobody's. I think everybody saw this coming, but still,
Nobody
you
can do
can't do
anything about
anything.
it. Everybody
Yeah,
saw it
nobody can
coming,
do
but you
anything.
can't do anything about it. Like, yeah,
Exactly. Some interesting facts is that rare earth elements are not that rare. Like, but to extract and what do you say, purify
yeah, the process and all of those
yeah,
steps
to
really.
process the it's very resource intensive, and it's very, I think China has mastered that game, and I think more than 90 to 95% of enrichment, or what do you call, uh,
Mm.
is done by China. And and if you talk about the equipment, like the equipment to mine rare earth or to synthesize the rare earth is near monopoly. I think 99 point some percent is everything is owned by China. So
I
this
think it
But
shows
whole
their long-term strategic planning. I think it's
exactly,
just
yeah,
their government realizing the importance of rare earths back in maybe 2000s and just investing
uh,
into it and just creating the capabilities for enrichment and so on. And
exactly,
nobody,
I think
like no
I
democracy
just
can match this kind of planning. Like this is just,
but I think
yeah,
exactly.
planned
I just want
strategic
to add.
thinking. Mm.
I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
add like
Hmm.
the source would also be majorly in China only, right? Because
What?
the source basically the actual
No, no,
It's
no,
not.
no.
like
It's
Source.
not.
It's not.
And it's
no,
Source
not
they
are
even
said like
source
even
are
there
there.
will
in.
be
Yeah, it's not even there. India is I think third or fourth highest resource of rare earth.
Yeah, could
But
be.
India only
but
Because
about the
produces
magnets. They were talking more about magnets, means whatever I heard.
but I think that's the
magnet
There are
is the
end.
many
end product. Magnet is the end product of those enrichment techniques, or these techniques through which you can make magnets, right?
I think
If you don't
neodymium
have that
magnets is the
supply chain,
largest
yeah,
magnets. Yeah.
neodymium, yeah,
I think the source is maybe not that. They will also have the chokehold on the source as well. Even if like there's some country in the world which supplies this, they may have exclusive contracts with that country already. So
exactly.
they had planned this since 2005 or something like that, and they just developed their
Yeah,
monopoly
yeah,
slowly.
yeah, yeah. I think the mines are in Argentina, Congo, and all over the
Yeah,
place.
Congo. I think
All
Congo
over
is
the
a big
place,
supplier of
yeah.
rare earths. Yeah,
Congo is a big supplier. But everybody, the miner is China only. The
yeah.
miner, the equipment, it's all Chinese.
They just play such a long game. Like it's just
Long way.
amazing to see. You have to appreciate
It's
this kind of
text.
planning and
Yeah,
execution, right?
appreciate exactly. It's the
Yeah,
textbook, the definition of strategic planning, right?
yeah, yeah. So it's bad
Also,
for
some
the rest of the world.
yeah, by for the rest of the world. Yeah, some interesting, I think, tidbits I have read is, uh, during the Trump's first term, right? Trump has levied some tariff on China during his first term. But why China didn't put this kind of rare earth pressure on US? So what I've read is, the word is helium. China was dependent on helium for the US. Like China dependent on US for helium production. So after that, China has diversified and cuts US dependence on its helium. So that's why now China can
Yeah,
do
so that's
what
also
it did.
strategic planning. So now they have the
Strategic
self-sufficiency
planning.
to negotiate
Exactly.
from a stronger point, a stronger position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's also happening with semiconductor and all of that. US had restricted all the export of the chips and so on, and China is just in the process of now gaining that self-sufficiency. And maybe in future, after 5-10 years, US won't be able to, you know, choke China in with these kind of tools anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I think if US, I think the chip embargoes also been softened, right? Some of the
That's
chips
what
can now
I
be
think
sold,
Trump.
right?
That's one card that Trump has, the chips and so
Mm,
on, and I think he's using that. He's trying to negotiate using that as well, but he hasn't yet
mm,
completely removed the embargo. I think he's talking about it, that it
mm.
may become a bit soft,
It may be
things like
done.
that. But it's
Yeah.
I think it will be used in some other
But
future negotiation
yeah,
sessions.
but if Nvidia or like if Nvidia like TSMC can't get the rare earth, they can't make chip, right? So
No, they don't make the chips. No, it's Taiwan that makes the
no,
chips.
no. Yeah, TSMC, but TSMC also has to take permission from China to use the rare
The
earth, right?
export,
To
yeah,
export it back to,
export.
yeah, to export it back to
I
Nvidia. So that kind of
think
chokehold I'm talking about.
No, but I think semiconductor is not really very rare earth heavy. There is, of course, some use of rare earths, but it's not like batteries and those industries. Like batteries, like lithium,
Mm,
and lithium is again
lithium, yeah.
China has, I think, stronghold on that.
Mm,
I don't think it's the same for manufacturing of chips, and
okay.
I'm sure Taiwan would not completely rely on Chinese supply chains. Like
Okay.
they would already have diversified, or I don't think it's required actually. I don't think it's rare earth intensive, rare earth intensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Major are big chips, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
big chips use rare earth, right? Like above 139 nanometer. Like sorry, above 30 nanometer, or like
I'm
the
not an expert
machine that
on
used to make.
manufacturing, so I don't really know. But typically, it's all semiconductor. It's all
Mm.
silicon and germanium and those kind of elements.
Yeah, but the machine
Machines, yeah, I
which
know
goes
that. I think,
into.
but it's not really a critical part of it,
Mm,
like batteries.
okay.
Like for batteries, it's really the
Yeah,
critical part.
batteries critical, and some for the rotor, like electrical for the
Yeah,
magnets.
electrical machines
It's,
and for
yeah,
those kind
electrical
of
machines.
magnets, because the magnets are the
90% is
Magnets.
electrical
huge, for the
motors.
world.
Sorry?
90% for the world is huge.
90 to
Is
95.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
huge.
And this is all like
What about
future technology,
equipments?
right? Yeah, EVs and
Electric,
batteries and like electric motor is basically for EVs, right? So it's all like
more,
future technologies.
that's what you're doing now. Reading up on
Yeah,
stuff.
I was just checking that why other countries are not having the
Just
possibility.
just
Means
come
first I was
prepare.
checking on the
Just come prepare for proper ones.
So did you find the reason though?
delayed than never.
Did you find the reason of why China has such a stronghold?
Yeah, one is on it's like very much capital intensive,
Mm.
so too much capital intensive, and another reason like that is one thing. Okay, one is on the capex, and like definitely complex process and restriction to access the technology. But other part also was on the pollution basically.
Polluted,
It's
yeah, polluting.
it's like lot of pollution which
Mm.
completely restricts somewhere in Europe and US.
Mm. That makes
And
sense. Yeah.
the pollution it's like fully toxic
Mm.
pollution,
Yeah.
in this suppression process.
But now that you would think that
So
China is more like careful with pollution, they would. But maybe this is so strategically important that they would give a free pass to rare
maybe
earth
like they would have some
pollution.
ways or like
And
like
and
lower
many
environmental
refineries
costs.
are offshore, right? Many refineries are in Congo, Argentina, like in South America,
No, but
Africa.
then why can't US and Europe do the same as well? If it's just offshoring the industries, they can also do that.
Yeah, but
I guess.
they don't have the equipments, right? Equipments, machinery, manpower,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
money.
I think this
China does not
equipment and
offshore the
everything.
enrichment process.
Yeah,
They only like
only
they
mining.
mining is it's
Full
also very polluting. Mining is
suppressed.
also very polluting. Mining happens in Congo, but even the enrichment is also a polluting step, I guess.
Mm.
And China is
Yeah,
okay
yeah.
with it. What
Enrichment
is
also
it
polluting.
in China? Yeah, yeah.
Enrichments also happen offshore, right?
Maybe not at the scale as
Yeah,
mining.
yeah, yeah. Not at that scale, but yeah,
But
some
why would they offshore
enrichment
it? Why would they offshore it to reduce pollution in their country?
to reduce cost, I think, to reduce cost so that the raw material don't have to be shipped to China for
Could be, yeah. That
enrichment.
could be,
Yeah,
yeah. That could be the reason, yeah.
basic economics.
Exactly.
So yeah, guys, do you guys want to add anything on this chokehold by China? And what about India? What is India doing to this chokehold? Do you guys know anything?
We just have to form good relations with China and be friendly with them that we get a free pass
Really, they have
whenever
so much
they.
of monopoly. Too much. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't be completely antagonized. Like we can't have just really first relations with
Then
China.
how does it work? Like this, how means I'm now just thinking like how this wars, tariff wars, everything is being working because if they have so much of control, they could completely stop one thing.
That's what I'm saying. No? They have all the cards, but I think US also has some cards, like the big
That
market and yeah, chips and software and so on. So they also have some upper
That
hand
was
in some
also a thing.
fields.
Like what they will do with
Well,
this much capex
welcome,
capacity if it is not being used.
welcome to the geopolitics of the world.
Mm.
But Mayur is wondering why can't China just, yeah, completely
Why
like
can
they
I
can
just
refuse
stop,
to even
right?
negotiate, right? They can refuse to just
No,
even come to the
means
table.
no. I'm now thinking in that way. Like ultimately, like if you saw, all this war, means all this tariff things was going on
Mm.
by one another. Then at the end, like
Mm.
one, like suppose China says like, okay, now I'll stop, giving this
That's
rare
what
earth
they did, and
countries.
that's how they got the tariff
Yeah, that's what
10%,
they
right?
did.
They only have
So
10% now.
why all the things?
Yeah.
So why all the things, started first
Oh, yeah. So
with all
what's
those
the point?
things?
I think you have to ask Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Just if Trump knew that eventually China will win, China has to. I think Trump has to signal some kind of signal to his own population that I'm doing something. That I am
Exactly.
fighting
Yeah.
against the Chinese. Uh, yeah, Chinese imports and so on.
Uh,
Even though at
like
the end he
like
knows that yeah, nothing will come out of it. At least if you ask some normal American today, they will say, "Oh yeah, Trump is doing something to safeguard American interests."
yeah,
It's all
American
political
interest. Yeah.
signaling. Yeah.
It's a, like Trump is a pure politician, right? Like our politician. But they know what to do to grow India, right? But they do what appeases their electorate, right?
Yeah.
So that's what Trump is doing.
Yeah, I think that's the big, like that's the Achilles heel of democracy. Like at the end, it's all
Yeah,
about
actually, see.
appeasing your population. It's not really
Mm,
doing the right thing.
very. Yeah. So I read something that India has also some I think budding ambition for self-reliance in this critical rare earth mining and enrichment. So, National Critical Minerals Mission, like we have backed by 34,000 crores uh, by 2031. So it's aimed to strengthen our national base to mine and enrich the rare earths focused on recovering rare earth oxides from mineral processing, tailing, and other secondary sources,
Mm.
whatever the hell that means.
At least we're doing something. As always, we're a bit
Something.
late to the party. After China's already established a monopoly, we're trying to do something. But okay, we're doing something. Um, because as you said, we do have reserves, like the rare earth mineral reserves that we can mine and do something with it.
Moil, can you check what is India's standing in rare earth minerals? I think we are second or third or something. Top five at least.
Yeah. Mm. I think even US has some.
Yeah.
Even yeah, not as much as they would like to have, but they still have some. Mm.
Mm. There's still something. Exactly.
India
So
is
guys,
having 8% basically, with
8% of the
respect to
world.
reserves. With respect to
Yeah,
reserves,
reserves.
Yeah,
But
that's what we're talking about.
what is standing? What is the standing?
China
Top
is at,
five.
it's like third. China is at
Wow.
49, Brazil at 23.
So imagine China being 49 controls all of the world supply.
Yeah.
You have to, yeah. Okay. Sure. Mo, do you want to add anything else in this topic?
No.
So yeah, let's move on to our next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our next topic is the increasingly fragile relation between our Western neighbors and their neighbors, which is Afghanistan and Pakistan. Recently, Pakistan attacked Taliban with missiles vis-a-vis India. Uh, so yeah, the major reason Pakistan is giving the Pakistanis are giving that TTP like Taliban Pakistan is supporting terrors which have been carried out in Pakistan, so they are retaliating for that. So after that, the Afghanistan also attacked the Pakistani military outpost in the Durand line. So and moreover that border is also not very easily manageable or easily patrolled. So yeah, so that kind of issue. So Nimish, do you want to what do you think about this Afghanistan-Pakistan relations which is deteriorating fast?
Yeah, this is not a new thing. I think this Durand line, that is Pakistan's perennial problem. It is going. It's not just Pakistan's problem. It was also British problem before. Like nobody could really take control of those areas, those tribal regions. British tried. Russia tried. When Soviet was there in Afghanistan, they tried. Pakistan is trying after independence. Like they really because it's not just the border, but even the northwest frontier region of Pakistan. Even that region is not really under Pakistan's control. So it's not a recent problem. Pakistan has always been struggling with that border. They try to keep friendly relations with the other side, with the tribals, the Taliban, and other leaders there. But after all these, after the Taliban thing happened, like Pakistan helped US to essentially train Talibanis, right? All the training of Talibans actually happened from a Pakistani center. Once they created this monster, they could not control it, and they are struggling with that essentially. US left, and Pakistan is now left to deal with this monster on their own. They will never be able to control Durand line. Like that border has never been controlled by any outsider. So tribals have the stronghold there. Yeah, so I think there was this book called Prisoners of Geography that I was reading, and there is it's about how different countries are prisoners of their own geography, and there was a chapter on India, on South Asia, and like most of that chapter is about that Durand line and how India was lucky essentially to get rid of that border, and like after the partition, India got a more stable border because Thar is a desert, so it's a natural border, natural barrier. So it got a more stable. Like Kashmir, of course, was a contentious issue. It's a slightly bad border, but the longer and more worse border is the Durand line. It's the border with Afghanistan, and Pakistan inherited that monstrosity, and we were lucky to get rid of that. um,
But before that,
so,
prior to that also it was there, like prior to
yeah, it
Pakistan
has
also
always
the same like
like
that time
nobody
it would
was
happen.
able to control that region. So Pakistan got that region, like the northwest frontier, and it inherited that border. But the tribals in that region has never accepted that as a border. So it divides the Pashtun areas into. So it's actually a whole Pashtun area, and Durand line goes right in between that Pashtun area. So it divides creates two different countries where it's actually a single homogeneous tribal region, right? So those tribes have never accepted Durand line as the border. So from Pakistan's point of view, that's the border, but the tribes don't accept that as a border, and they don't even allow military control in that region. So Pakistan can't even patrol that border. They can't even control that region. So on paper, it's part of Pakistan, but it's not really. And so it's a very porous border from which all the terrorists can infiltrate from the other side and create issues in Pakistan. So Pakistan has this dual policy. They have like this good terrorists and bad terrorists. The good terrorists are the terrorists that are in
Yeah,
line with Pakistani policy. So these are terrorists which are plotting against India, like Jaish
India.
e Mohammed and so on. And the bad terrorists are the terrorists, the TTP and terrorists from Afghan region. Um, So yeah, they create all these monsters and then they don't know what to do with it. So I think tribal region was not under Pakistani control, but it was not also as radical as Taliban. So they minded their own business. They had their own autonomy and they did their own thing. But after Taliban, like Pakistan created this Taliban. Now Taliban is like a yeah radicalized version of those tribal instincts, and that creates problem for Pakistan. And I don't think it's going to be
Just
solved in near
2 days
future.
back,
They can have some ceasefire.
Afghanistan. Yeah,
Hmm.
ceasefire actually. Afghanistan and Pakistan, they agreed, right? I think yesterday or day before yesterday.
Yeah, I mean these
There
are
was
all
some joint
like
meeting
how
and
we agree with Pakistan to have a ceasefire, right? But that tension is always there. The tension is not resolved. They agree for some ceasefire for some temporary resolution,
uh,
but it will that issue will keep on going.
Exactly.
but US is supporting Pakistan with the drones and all. So that was also one of the things mentioned by them. When
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
attacked Afghanistan,
US is increasingly
it was on the US
supporting
order,
Pakistan.
basically. Yeah.
Is getting involved again. That's surprising. I mean, they tried during Obama's period. They tried so much, like they constantly bombed this area, like with the help of Pakistani Air Force and Pakistani military, and there were like drones bombing Northwest frontier for non-stop for multiple years, and nothing happened after that. So, yeah, I don't think US can really do anything here. They can try to support Pakistan in some ways, but nobody can really control the Duran line except for the tribals. Yeah.
Exactly. Interesting book, Nimish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Business of
Business of
Geography,
Geography
right?
is a nice book.
Good.
It shows how you can see like this book came out before the Russia-Ukraine war, and there's a chapter on Russia, and the author predicts that something will happen with Ukraine at some point. Like there are geographical reasons of why Russia will want to control Ukraine. Yeah, so I think it's not just the Soviet nostalgia. There are actually strategic reasons and everything for Russia to have control of those planes. So like yeah, it's an interesting book.
Exactly. I also it's also in my wish list. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, nice.
Nimish, any other books did you read?
I'm now reading Super Communicator. It's a sort of self-help book kind of a thing. People recommended that. I'm not finding it that interesting right now. Like it has some tips, but all of these tips are just tips until you actually practice those tips in real
Yeah,
life and
exactly.
incorporate those things. Yeah. I read a book from by Robert Sapolsky. He's a biologist in Stanford, a neurobiologist in Stanford, called Determined. That's a nice book. It's a
Determined.
philosophical. Yeah, it's. Do you have it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, I'll have to check it.
Yeah, it's a nice book. Like it's a mix of. So I think the main hypothesis in that book is that there is no free will. Like biologically, physically, it's not possible to have free will. That we associate with like our free will. That I choose what to do. Like I dictate my life and so on.
Yeah.
But he's saying that it's impossible to have, scientifically impossible to have absolute free will.
Absolute free will. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So interesting, like combination of philosophy and science and biology. And
Yeah,
so on.
I have read about that book actually. Yeah, I think it's also in my.
He's a very good author. Like he writes really well. Like it's it's a big book, but I enjoyed reading it. Even if it's maybe some of it is all abstract and philosophical, but it's still like a very good read.
Exactly.
What about you, Nikhil?
Nice.
Do you recommend any books?
Actually, I have not read since last, but right now I'm reading this book, The Inner Game of Tennis,
Nice.
by W. Timothy Galloway. It's I think it's a classic book. I think it came around I think 1970s or that time. So it's also I'm still reading this. It's also more or less. Do you know about the flow state?
Yeah, the flow state.
Yeah, the flow state. Yeah, it more or less. Yeah, it more or less talks about that and the inner game. And when you play, there's a person playing on the outside, and there's a voice on the inside. So how the two communicates? That's what this book focuses about. Interesting read. So now I'm trying to play tennis, and I'm trying to getting good at it. So I thought let's read a book about it.
I think this is for like maybe
No, lawn tennis. No, it's not about lawn tennis. It's about life actually.
Yeah,
About life.
get the
Which
lessons,
which
learn
can
the
you
lessons
apply?
from
Yeah,
it.
I think Bill Gates recommended this book many times.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's in my wish list long. So I bought it, even though
Nice,
there's
nice.
many books which are not ready here.
Yeah, I can see a lot of books behind you. Maybe we finish this and let us know how review this book and let us know how good it is.
Exactly.
I think we lost Mayur. I was going to ask the same question to Mayur because he was reading this book, right? That he suggested to us, like
Yeah.
the communication thing,
Yeah.
like to, yeah, but he left. Once he comes back, we'll discuss that. Uh, let's wrap up the topic.
Let's wrap up this topic.
Hmm.
Do you want to add anything, Devish? No, right?
No, not to this topic. No, no.
Discuss Nobel Prize in Economics, right?
Oh, okay.
I think it was
We have
awarded
to.
after. Yeah, I think it was awarded after we recorded our last podcast.
But I haven't prepared that one, so I have no idea. Do you know what the prize was for? What the topic was?
Yeah. I briefly read about it. It's about how since in the last 200 years the economy is growing because of innovations. So this
Oh,
is
yeah.
economic growth
Hmm.
via innovation.
Right.
So that's the that's the important thing. And the author the Wadi has stated that we should not think of an economy as a uh, continuously growing system. Like we should not be, what is the word? We should not be lazy, or we should not be lazy that
Complacent.
we should not, yeah, we should not be complacent. That's the word. We should not be complacent about the economy, that it will indefinitely grow. We have to innovate. We have to innovate, and I think the creative discussion. It's the word coined by them, so it's in the vogue now. I think some our economics survey has also quoted the same. So the creative discussion has to happen. If some new product which is lower in price and high efficiency, then old product has to die. So it's the creative discussion and the power of innovation which has led to that huge growth, because they've stated before, I think 1700s to before 1700s, the society were more or less stagnant. Suppose
Right.
some period of growth happened due to war or some spoils of war, then it will stagnate, then it will deteriorate. So this after industrial revolution, what happened is the main thing is innovation led growth.
Right.
So that's the main basis for
Right.
this uh, economic prize.
That's
Sorry,
that's
no
interesting. I
Nobel
think we
Prize in
assume that
economics.
innovation will just come naturally and it will just keep on growing the economy, but that's not really.
Exactly.
You have to plan for it. You have to
Plan for it, incentivize it.
create
Yeah.
conducive environment for innovation and
Exactly.
keep on growing. I think earlier maybe people may not have even understood how growth happens, and these folks would have figured out that innovation is the key for growth. So I think that would be their contribution as well. Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Mayur, do you want to add anything? Did you read anything? Did you watch anything
Yeah,
interesting?
you were reading that book
Anything
about
else?
communication, right? Have you finished that book?
Yeah.
Can you
No.
share some
How's it?
insights?
No.
Why not?
Yeah. No. I think I had to continue it. I couldn't. I dropped it in between.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're not finished the book.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm
Maybe
not
next
focused on
so
time.
something else as well.
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Bye bye.